Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a bit of a different type of video. So one of the things I really like to do is to have conversations with really interesting people about really interesting ideas, and I just find that I learn so much from it. And so what I thought is an experiment I'd do is today I'd record one of those conversations, maybe so that you could get something out of it as well. I've never done this before, so it is an experiment. But I called one of my friends up, a really good friend of mine, who's a really accomplished guy, and I asked him to have a conversation with me about some of the things that I really want to ask him, and maybe people don't ask him very often. His name is Ramesh Schaffter. For those of you who don't know him, he's the group CEO of Janashakti Private Limited, which is one of the biggest insurance companies in the country I live in Sri Lanka. But he's also got diversified interests in real estate, in finance, in food and beverages, and so many other sectors. He's also got a resume basically longer than my arm. He's an accomplished, award-winning international public speaker. He's a social entrepreneur. He's been the president of Habitat for Humanity. He's got 4 kids. He's an Anglican priest. So many interesting things to talk about. So this is my conversation with Ramesh. If you find this type of interview or this type of conversation, this type of talk interesting, and you want to see me do more videos like this, please let me know. I'm going to have the conversations anyway because I learned so much from it. But if it's something that interests you, please comment below and let me know that that's something that you like. Also, if there's any feedback about just the way we make videos, we had some technical difficulties on this because we've never done it before. Please comment and let me know. I'm looking for constructive feedback. As always, like the video and subscribe to this channel if you find it interesting. So because this conversation was a bit long, I've actually broken it up into a few videos so you can pick and choose the parts that you most find interesting. And over the next few days, I'm going to release a few parts of this conversation. I hope you enjoy it. Right now, you are Group CEO of Janashakti.
Yes.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure yet.
What do you do? What do you do?
So essentially, when one says Janashakti, most people think of the insurance company, but the parent is also Janashakti.
Okay.
And the group today is a lot more than insurance. So we're into insurance, yes, and we were into life and general. We disposed of general a couple of years ago. But we're also into finance. We're into what you call an NBFI, non-banking financial institution, which is essentially a finance company. We're into property. So it's a whole host of companies now. And as group CEO, what it basically means is I sit at the parent company and get CEOs in the individual companies to work.
And finally, we'll talk about this later, but you're also an Anglican priest. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a bunch of stuff to talk about.
In fact, most people would address me as Reverend, but never mind.
All right. Okay, so we've been friends for close to 10 years. And the first experience of knowing you that I have is I was just moving out of law. And I can remember I went to study some theology classes. And you were there. And,
yes, I remember it well.
My cousin said, "Oh, that's Ramesh," and I think her exact words were, "Oh, he's a big wicked Janashakti," right? And I can remember thinking, it was a Wednesday morning. I think it was every Wednesday morning, and you used to come all the time in your jeans, in your rubber slippers at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday. And I was thinking, man, this guy can't have a serious job because he's just turning up and he doesn't seem like he has a lot of work to do, right? But later on, what I found out was that actually that is a period of a life where maybe some big changes were happening. So what actually happened and how did that play out?
So what actually happened is that I answered the call of God on my life, and I believe in God. And I was avoiding Him because it can be a little troublesome. And then there came a point in my life where I heeded His call. I'd been running away enough. And having heeded His call, my life transformed into a new life. I went off to the States for about 6 months, leaving the family. Went and studied in a residential school, came back, started taking some ad hoc courses. And so that probably led to that Wednesday morning course. But coming to a college like that, you can't come in your shirt and tie and all of that. So I dressed down for the class and then do a quick change, sometimes in the washroom, and then run back to office.
So you essentially kind of took a break from work, or was it like...
No, the break was actually only for the 6 months. The rest of it was balancing studies and work, and that could be challenging. Long hours.
And in a family-owned business, you taking less responsibility for a time being even. I'm curious, how did your father and your brother react to that?
So I think overall very positively. And without that support, you can't do something like this because they recognize the call.
Sure.
And imagine going off for 6 months, which was essentially leaving everything going on and going off to the States for 6 months. And then it also turned out to be a most turbulent time. And then when I came back, because the worldwide financial crisis hit in 2008, and so that had the ripples in Sri Lanka as well. It wasn't an easy time. But I think they recognized the call and therefore they gave me a lot of support. And my brother Prakash, whom I work with, actually we have this joke that we divide the duties equally. And at a time when we had 2,857 staff, the joke used to be that 3 reported to me and 2,854 reported to him. So that's how it's been. And he took over more of what one would call operational work, and I was like the minister without portfolio, taking on ad hoc duties, and that's how it's continued to date. So we balance things off.
Would you say things never went back to normal, or have they gone back to
since the Bible school experience and all of that? Probably yes, it never went back to normal. In that, it also coincided with me from 2007 or so relinquishing what would be an operational role. We moved from being a family-owned, family-run business to being a family-owned but professionally run business with outside CEOs, etc. One of them is don't do anything someone else can do.
Sure.
Because there's stuff that anyone can do. And if I spent my time doing that, then who's going to do what only Ramesh can do?
Sure.
There's stuff that's unique to my talents and my education or my leaning. So I try to focus on what I'm required to do, and anything I can give someone else, I give it to someone else.
Sure.
That's why they think I'm jobless.